What is up, DMV basketball fans? Welcome to another Believe in DMV Hoops. Got a great one here for you today. Got star guard for Mount St. Mary's, Dakota Leffew. Dakota, thanks for coming on here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're having a great individual season, almost 18 points a game, about 4 assists, about 4 rebounds, about a steal and a half a game, shooting 34% from three on almost 7 attempts. Do a lot of the work on offense for the team here and getting things going for everybody. It's been really fun to watch your game this season. So I just, as a big fan of yours and seeing you play this year, just thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Just before we get going, just want to knock a couple ad reads out. We're brought to you by Stateside Vodka and their Surfside hard iced teas, hard lemonades, hard every flavor you can think of. Also brought to you by BetOnline. It's your number one source for all your betting needs. You can get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, UFC, tennis, NBA, pretty much every sport out there. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available right from your mobile device. Or you can head to our website and use our promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, Dakota. So you're in your 4th year at Mount St. Mary's. Progress is not always linear, especially for basketball players and their growth, but it seems like you've steadily gotten better each of your 4 years. I guess, how have you done that? What's the process like? Walk us through kind of your path here a little bit.
Yeah, when I first came in my freshman year, I was still learning stuff like that.
Sure.
Towards the beginning of conference play, I actually broke my hand, and I didn't even finish out the season. And then taking the rest of that time, like when I was recovering and stuff like that, to like really see from an outside perspective on like what they were looking for and stuff like that.
Sure.
So of course, like was watching more and more in film, and then like that next year I got like more minutes. It was my sophomore year, got more minutes, and then my junior year is when I took a bigger leap. It's our first year in the MAC. I think I took like way bigger leap, and then this year I'm continuing to keep growing and growing. And I feel like that's just the work ethic that I have, and just wanting to keep getting better and better.
You mentioned the film study there. Is that a big part of your routine? I guess, how much film a week does a college player watch for those of us uninitiated here?
Well, we have, of course, we watch film for our practices. We watch film for like scouting, stuff like that, like
Sure.
end of the year meetings, stuff like that, like what we need to improve on and stuff like that. So, it's a lot of film sessions with those too. So,
Before we get too far into this, I got to ask, for anybody watching the stream here, they can see the poster behind you. Got MJ and LeBron. You're a younger generation than me. Who's the GOAT if you got to pick one?
I'm going with LeBron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just longevity, overall records. Like what's the case?
I just feel like he's more versatile, which I think is what makes him better.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely gets people pretty involved too. So he's basically a 6'9" point guard. So that'd be
Yeah.
fun to play with, I bet too.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this year is probably not off to the start everybody in the program would ideally like from a record perspective. You guys are 7-13 at the time of this recording, 3-6 in conference play. But you guys played a really tough schedule, and you've played a lot of really close games. There's been probably 5 or 6 of them that I've seen that like have come down in the last couple of possessions and really could have gone either way here. I guess, how do you guys feel about the team? Is that, hey, we're really close here and we just need a couple of things to click, or I guess what's the feeling within the program?
Yeah, I feel like we all know that we're very, very close and what our potential is and what we're capable of. And I feel like we also have like a young group. We're also with a mix of older guys too, and feeling just letting the younger guys know that believe in it and it will work out. And I feel like the more and more games and Matt will keep playing by end of February, early March, we should be a different team because we're still growing.
For you guys in a conference where there probably won't be multiple bids, it's probably about peaking at the right time, I would imagine, and just making sure that as long as you're playing your best come conference play or come conference tournament time, that's really the most important thing, I guess, from here on out, right?
Yes, sir. Because right now it's just all about seeding.
It's a little tough coming up for you guys here. You've dropped a couple in a row, we mentioned, but you also have 2 road games coming up. You guys have been terrific at home. Like, protecting home court is great. You're 5-2 at home. Fortunately, 2-10 on the road. Is that just credit to the environment, or are there certain things you guys are doing differently in these home games that maybe you can start to apply on the road a little bit more?
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Okay,
Going to a hostile environment, stuff like that is kind of difficult planning.
sure.
I feel like, yeah, we have been defending home a lot.
Is there any one thing that stands out as if we can start to do this a little bit better, we'll start to see a couple more wins in the column? Like, is there a key thing that the coaches are emphasizing with you guys right now?
Just continue to stay locked into what their plan is for us and as a team to
Mhm.
have us be more successful.
Uh, Over the last couple games here, you're averaging about 19 points, shooting about 56% from the field. That's over the last 4 games. You're in double figures each of the last 18 games, which is super impressive. Top 15 points 13 times, the 20-point mark 9 times. But like I mentioned, you've really been clicking offensively, especially here the last couple games. Is that just, hey, my team needs me especially to step up right now? Or is there something that you're just getting more comfortable the years going on? Like, I guess walk us through your kind of individual play here the last couple games.
Yeah, a little bit of both. I feel like if I'm coming in and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, they would feed off me because I have been here for 4 years and I know like what the coaches are expectations are. So if I feel like if I can perform at a high level, I would feel like others would perform at a high level with me.
You mentioned having some younger guys on the team here too. Do you think that takes some pressure off them when you can get going like this and make life a little easier for them to get going too?
Yeah, I feel like it is because we know we have talented freshmen coming off the bench for us that can
Mhm.
impact the game in different ways also. So I feel like if they see like I'm out here hooping, they'll come out and have more of a swagger to them too.
Sure. Uh, Coach Engelstad's mentioned a couple times that he's seen your leadership grow this year. But I think I've even heard you say that you kind of lead by example and things like that. But have you made an emphasis to try to be more vocal because you are a veteran on the team and there are some younger guys?
Yeah, I have this year. I know I've always been a lead by example type person, really soft spoken, but I feel like I do need to be more. I had to be more vocal and things like that because I have been here and I feel like anything I would say, they would know it's like something important and
Mhm.
they know they need to listen.
I think a lot of times too, like everybody's got their own style. So vocal leader doesn't have to be the guy that talks all the time, but sometimes it's when you don't talk a lot and you do say something, they really like take note of that because okay, if
Yeah.
he's speaking up about this, like it must be really important for me.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Yeah.
Is there like one kind of common message you continue to reemphasize with the younger guys?
Um, I just keep telling them like just stay bought in, stay locked into it, because you know
Mhm.
how we dropped a couple games back to back, and you know how that can make a team either divide or come together. So
Mhm.
continue to tell everyone that let's stay together and stuff like that, and staying positive.
You guys look like a good defensive team to me, and that requires buy-in. So it seems like you guys have stayed bought in, and they're buying into that message. Is that how it feels from your perspective?
Yeah, most definitely. That's how I feel.
As not only a leader and the leading scorer and things like that, you're the guy kind of initiating a lot of the offense. You've got the ball in your hands a lot. Are there things you can do to get some of these other guys going too to help continue to build their confidence so you guys do peak at the right time?
Mm, I feel like just executing at a high level, getting good shots
Mhm.
every possession, getting a shot up every possession, and not turning the ball over.
Sure.
That's how I feel like it can be. That's how I feel. Yeah.
I also feel like your defense has taken a leap in the last year. I mean, obviously, you have a lot of offensive responsibilities, so it's probably hard to be 100% on the defensive end, for the entire course of the game, given the minutes you're playing. But when you need to be really locked in, it seems like that's been a growth area for you. Is that something that you focused on over the last couple of years?
Yeah. So just having meetings and stuff like that, and knowing they needed me to be a two-way guy.
Mhm.
So I have really took on that role to go guard the best player every night, and then initiate offense and things like that. Yeah, which is a lot, but I'm built for it.
not getting tired yet? No ice in the knees yet? You're still young enough. You don't have to do too much of that
Yeah.
stuff yet, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, I mentioned you guys have played a tough non-conference schedule here. You played some teams. The Ole Miss game, particularly, they were cruising at the time. It's an SEC team. They're really good, and you guys gave them kind of everything they could handle. Did that feel good just to show on a national stage, like, hey, like we can hang with the best teams in the country?
Yeah, it gave us a lot of confidence knowing just we can compete with those high level teams. And I feel like, yeah, it gave us a lot of confidence.
For you specifically, last year there were other guys that had some big scoring responsibilities, but I got to imagine every team that comes in to play you all, the top thing on the scouting report says must contain Dakota Leffew as much as possible. What's that like to be the guy that kind of defenses are keying in on first and foremost?
It's tough responsibility for me knowing there's a lot of face guarding and denying me and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
just trying to keep everything in order and still get a good shot up or something like that. I feel like, but yeah, it is difficult.
Seen any boxing one or anything like that this year?
Oh, nah, nah, nah.
Gotcha. The face guard, that's when like I can score if guys are resorting to this a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so just as a team, yeah, obviously I've heard some of Coach Engelstad's post game conferences and stuff like that, but what's he like to play for specifically?
Um, he's very good to play for. He gonna push us. He's very energetic. He's gonna get the best out of us.
Mhm.
So I feel like that has been a good thing for us as a team, knowing like he still has that fight for us. You know what I'm saying? So playing with someone who still has that fight and still see the potential in his team, that's big.
I think on the sideline too, it looks like he's as into the game as the people on the
Yeah,
court. I gotta think that's
yeah,
probably gets you guys pretty hyped too to see him like locked in like that.
yes, sir, it does.
He's through this podcast. I've talked to a lot of the local coaches in the area. I think he's been one of my favorite guys to talk to because you can just kind of tell. Not only does he get basketball at a super high level, but it's very obvious that he's very bought in on you guys and your success long term post basketball. It's very rare that guys stay 4 years at the same college anymore. You're in your fourth year at Mount St. Mary's. I'm sure you had opportunities to transfer given how good you are in the transfer portal era. I guess why Mount St. Mary's? Like what was the kind of rationale for staying around the full 4 years?
Coming in, they was the only school to give me a chance. I feel
Mhm.
so. Why would I not finish where I started? So that's how I always felt. Not thinking about the the future and just staying with the present. Who believed in me? That's what I feel.
I also think that there are guys that you're their guy, so they're going to look out for you long term. And I've heard you say you want to get into coaching, in much down the road, long after your playing career is over here. But are there things that you take away from Coach Engelstad and the coaching staff as a whole that you'd want to incorporate into your own coaching style or how you'd want to run a program?
Yeah, most definitely the way they really break down the film and
Mhm.
teach us. I feel like that'd be something big. Yeah, good for me.
Okay. Also heard you mention kind of the family atmosphere at Mount St.
Mhm.
Mary's, and I'm sure that's a soundbite they want to clip and show to all future recruits too, because that's got to be a big thing for players coming in. Is there anything specific they do to help build that family feeling, or just kind of a vibe in general?
It's kind of a vibe in general. Like we're a small campus,
Mhm.
so everyone pretty much knows everyone. So it's like one big family here. So that's
Sure,
how I feel like it's always been a family atmosphere.
that's cool. Let's see. Any funny Coach Engelstad stories you're willing to share with us here?
Uh,
Nothing that'll get you in trouble though. We don't
yeah,
want to do
yeah,
this.
I think, yeah, I might have to pass.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, I've just got kind of some rapid fire questions for you to close us out. They don't have to be super rapid fire, not to take your time and answer them, or whatever. But they're a little lighter. Just kind of talk about you off the court here a little bit too. What's one thing that people listening to this might not know about you? Is there a guilty pleasure TV show or music or something that you're into that you're willing to share with folks?
um, I think. I don't know. I really have like a simple life. I'm trying to think.
Any non-basketball hobbies that take up some time?
Yeah, I like playing video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the game of choice?
I like playing 2K.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming a lot of your teammates will also play 2K. So who's the best 2K player on the team?
Me?
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that gonna cause some controversy in the locker room later?
Nah, no.
They all know? Okay.
Yeah.
Any hidden talents? Anything outside of basketball? Instruments or any of that kind of stuff?
No, sir.
Yeah, me either. I have no musical talent whatsoever, man. So I'm with you. You wear number 1. Why number 1? Any specific significance to that one?
No, just always been a number that I always liked growing up. I just pretty much try to stick to it if I
Gotcha.
could.
So this is the long-term one you had it since high school and stuff like that too?
Yeah.
Gotcha. For someone who hasn't seen a Mount St. Mary's game that's probably listening to this somewhere in the DMV area, what's the sales pitch for them to come up there and see a game in your arena?
Oh, the environment, our crowd, and our supporters. I feel like they make a big reason why it's so hard for teams to beat us there, and really them.
Again, for anyone who hasn't seen, how would you describe Mount St. Mary's style of play?
Mm, let's see. Say up tempo. Like I said,
Okay.
a little up tempo defense.
I would have said intense defensively, I think. You guys
Yeah.
always seem super into it, and that's cool to watch.
Yes, sir.
How would you describe your own game for anybody listening to this?
I play kind of smooth. That's how I get a lot. Yeah.
I like that. It reminds me, you might be too young to kind of remember this person playing too much, but it's a little bit like the college version of like Allen Iverson in Philly. Like you have a lot of offensive responsibility and
Hmm.
you can still strap up and force turnovers and things like that. But you also get a lot of guys going, and there's just a lot of really good, solid defenders around you too. So I think it makes for this intense style of play, and it's fun to watch.
Yes. Yes, sir. It is.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Playing at the highest level my basketball talents take me. That's what I feel like I'll be in the next 5 years.
I like that. And then coaching down the road, any level you want to coach at? Is it high school, college, pro? Like what's the goal there?
College and pro, yeah.
Cool. I like that. Anyone that you want to shout out that might be listening to this that is either an unsung hero with the program or just in your own life that you'd like to give a little credit to here?
Shout out to my mom, my granddad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are always good ones. Got to get mom in there.
Yes, sir.
Any social media handles that you can share on here that people can continue to follow you along the way throughout the season?
My Instagram is Dakota Leffew 1, and my Twitter is Dakota Leffew 1.
Cool. And I'll put those in the episode description here for folks. Dakota, anything you want to leave listeners with before we close out here? Any final thoughts or comments?
No, sir. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, it's been great. I genuinely really enjoy watching you guys play, and I do think the best is ahead of you guys here. So do us all in the area proud here. Make a run for us, and love to see you guys in NCAA tournament at the end of the year here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. You know the drill. Hit that little like button, hit the subscribe button, rate, review, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. We're presented by betonline.ag, and we will catch y'all next